The Ephemeral Joy of Upgrade Simulators, featuring Edge Mech-Ascent. There is something charming about the upgrade simulator. This is what I call a type of game in which the main gameplay loop is battling enemies for rewards you can use to upgrade your character or characters so they are able to battle more powerful enemies, and so on. In other words, your skill is less important to progression than the character's power is. If the game assigns characters a combat power or battle power, you might be looking at an upgrade simulator. Games like this feel to me like an activity of exploration in which you have to gather resources to survive. An open world, as it were, but the world is the UI of the game itself. Presented with a field of red dots or yellow exclamation points or whatever the UI uses to mark notifications, your job is to make them go away. And that can be a challenge, because gathering resources might clear a notification while making it possible to, say, equip a character with better gear, meaning that a new mark appears. It's psychologically compelling, for a while. Please don't think I dislike these games. They are actually like catnip to me because of their heavy psychological draw. I have downloaded many of them and deleted most. The one you see me playing right now is a good example of how to keep me playing a game like this, but even this game will run out of shelf life for me eventually. Why is Edge Mech-Ascent more compelling than usual? I think one reason is the setting. A game focused on upgrading characters can have any setting at all, just so long as the setting supports characters. This is up to the designers, and it stands to reason that if the dev team finds a setting compelling, they won't be the only ones who do so. I've played games set in worlds based on Tolkien-derived Western-style fantasy, Chinese wuxia novels, the Three Kingdoms era, classical Japan, the American Wild West, dark fantasy, zombie apocalypse, alien invasion apocalypse, supernatural outbreak apocalypse, a world where ship girls are a thing, whatever is going on with Blue Archive, settings taken directly from isekai anime, and cyber fantasy. And I'm pretty sure this last one is my favorite. At the core, all this means is that there is high technology coexisting with magic. Edge Mech-Ascent is set in this kind of world, but there are other examples. Eversoul, Nonstop Game, Fallen Frontline, Angel Legion, and Battle Knight come to mind. And it's possible you've never heard of any of those. I tend to have niche interests as a rule, and I enjoy niche games. Who else used to play Deep World? Cyber fantasy is a versatile setting that lets you have a variety of fantasy races and many different types of technology. It interacts well with many other types of setting, particularly the post-apocalyptic ones. This makes the cyber fantasy setting appealing to a variety of people. Whether your tastes run to ethereal jetpack elves or hard-boiled rocket launcher cat girls, cyber fantasy has something for everyone. Another reason is the experience of summoning and managing characters. Earlier I said that skill is not a huge factor in the upgrade simulator. That's true. You sign up for one of these knowing that your data is going to be harvested and that the experience will be nothing like Cuphead. That said, some require more skill than others. On the low end of the skillometer are titles where the system plays the game for you. Auto-questing, auto-grinding, auto-battle. Yes, I have played these. Usually it's because the marketing got me, and when I keep them around, it's for one of two reasons: the soothing music and pretty flashing lights, or the player interactions. I don't like PvP too much, but some of these games have a suspiciously well-developed social interaction system, up to things like intimacy points between players and chat that supports pictures uploaded from your phone. I wonder from time to time if some of these are actually just social media apps with gameplay, like a version of Discord where you get to fight demon bosses for blue crystals. When there is skill involved, it's usually about managing your summons, either your team of characters or some sort of pets or companions. This makes it loads more interesting because there's some thought to be put into how a team is set up, especially if there is some sort of system in place to make all the characters valuable in different ways. The elemental rock, paper, scissors is the most common and basic version. This can also be expressed as race or faction. You also get weapon or armor advantages sometimes, and layering more than one of these systems together like Nikkei and Counterside do makes team building really interesting. Another, blunter method is resource dungeons that are restricted to certain factions. Related to this is a system that lets you unlock character stories, interact with the characters, or build them a place to live. I'm not super advanced at game psychology, but even I can tell that if I've invested my time in learning about the characters and supporting them, I'm less likely to delete the game. As a kid, I never had a Tamagotchi, but as an adult, I have a statuesque pink-haired archdemon who plays piano and talks casually about eating humans. Does it count as parasocial if the other person is fictional? The third factor is the narrative, both around the setting and around the characters. I just mentioned that I like character stories and interactions, but a compelling narrative provides motivation to keep on the grind. Mech-Ascent does have both, but the story cuts off after a few chapters, and I miss it. It's charming. You play a detective who goes out to uncover conspiracies and solve crimes. This is a fresh take on the sorts of titles your character often has in these games. Lord or Commander or Manager or Sensei or whatever. I don't quite know why I'm drawn to charmingly imperfect games. What it does mean is that I get attached to games that eventually have to see service. Mech-Ascent has flaws. The small, thin, hard-to-read font, the weirdly short story, the way the gift-giving interface defaults to the max number of gifts. But something about it is very engaging and makes me happy. This isn't an everyday game for me, but I do keep returning. Every upgrade simulator gives me an ephemeral joy. It's fun to discover a new game, a new narrative, new characters. But ultimately, if the game isn't about developing my skill at playing, it has to be about rich storytelling. The games I won't ever get rid of are ones like Counterside, Girl Cafe Gun, and Nikkei Goddess of Victory. And something called Divinity Arrival that features a surprisingly philosophical Gyaru as the MC. I play games like these as a way to enjoy fiction. If I'm not drawn into the world of the game, it's just a high-tech fidget toy with flashing lights, cute girls, and no future. If you got this far, thanks for watching. The remainder of this video is going to be some summons and some battles. I really do recommend this game. I enjoy it a lot. So if you're into this kind of thing, try and check it out. Take care now.
恐怖を感じましたの？探偵長。 帰らせたのです。
歌を作ることと酒を飲むこと。
僕は火を遊んでもいいけど、ランデージョはだ。